This year we've learned a few different shapes, polygons that we can find the area of. One of those has been a triangle. So we have learned that the area of a triangle can be found by multiplying the base times the height and then dividing that by 2. And we talked about in class, base times height would give you this rectangle that a triangle can fit inside of. And then dividing it by 2, the triangle is half of that area. These two parts are not part of that triangle. So if you divide it by 2, that would just give you the area of the triangle. So if we did base times height would be, the base is 4. So 4 times 5 centimeters, that is 20 centimeters squared. If we divide that by 2, then the area of the triangle is 10 centimeters squared. And it's centimeters squared because remember, area, we're finding the squares that go inside of a shape. Parallelograms. We talked a lot of different strategies in class, but one of the strategies that seemed to be the most popular for a lot of people is you can also think about a parallelogram like a rectangle. Parallelograms have two sets of parallel sides, and sometimes they make these little triangles off to the side. Usually they make those little triangles off to the side. We did talk about, a lot of people liked the idea of taking one of those little triangle shaped sides and moving it over to the other side. And then this shape makes an actual rectangle. So if you did that, this shape would become an 11 by 8 rectangle. An 11 by 8 rectangle is pretty easy to find the area of because we know that a rectangle, the area is length times width, or in this case, we're going to call it base times height because base and height are the words that we kind of associate with parallelograms. Since we don't have a length and a width, they're not straight sides. So the area of this parallelogram is base, which is 11, times height, which is 8. So our area would be 88 inches squared, or 88 square inches. 88 square inches. I will write that as well. And remember, that's because we're trying to find the squares that go into a shape. So the last shape, we talked a very little bit about trapezoids in class. That was part of what we didn't really get to. So I'm going to kind of try to give you a little bit of an idea. A trapezoid is kind of similar to a parallelogram, except for it only has one set of parallel sides. So these two sides right here, the 9-meter side and the 13-meter side, would be parallel. And these two sides are not parallel. They would end up meeting way up here somewhere. So a few different ways that we can think about this, but I think the easiest way is if we kind of break it into different shapes. That might be the easiest thing. So if we just look at this rectangle that's right here in the middle, this would be a 9 by 6 meter rectangle. And we can find the area of a 9 by 6 meter rectangle by multiplying 9 times 6, which is 54. So just inside that 9 by 6 meter rectangle, we have 54 squares. So we have 54 meters squared just inside that rectangle. Then we also have two triangles that we have to think about. So we know that the triangle is 6 meters tall. We do not know what the base of the triangle is. We can figure that out, though, knowing that the base of this rectangle is 9 meters. And the whole thing, this whole line, is 13 meters. So if we have 13 meters total, 9 of them are being used for that rectangle. Then we have 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So 9 plus 2 is 13. So this triangle is a 6 by 2 triangle. So again, if we're finding the area of a 6 by 2 triangle, 6 times 2 is 12. And then if we have to divide that by 2, because a 6 times 2 would actually give us this rectangle, divided by 2, so the area of this triangle is 6 meters squared. So we actually have 2 of those. We have another one that's over here. So we have 2 6 by 2 triangles. So to find the area of the whole trapezoid, we would add 54 plus 6 plus 6. 54 plus 6 is 60, plus another 6. The area of the whole trapezoid would be 66 meters squared.